Welcome! Episode 6 of. Wait, do I still have email only? Episode 6 of the PBE official podcast. Unfortunately, Hummus God isn't able to be here tonight. I think he's busy moving to a new place or something. But we have two other guests with me. We have Red Arrow and LGM Forever. If you guys want to introduce yourselves real quick.
I'm Red Arrow. I'm the GM of the Supernovas.
I'm a OGM. I'm the GM of the Armadillos, and I'm an ex-HO member. I just left at the beginning of the season.
Cool. So the main focus for today is going to be going over the awards that were just streamed by Super Turnus, as well as taking a look at the two drafts that happened recently. Do we actually have anyone here? No one said anything.
That's a good question.
I mean, it's being recorded, so we can always just it's still doing something.
Like, it says there's 6 people, but it's possible some of them are like
tacos.
holdovers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Like, it's possible there's some people that didn't leave the browser.
Very true. We'll take those. So we have at least one person. Tacos is here. I mean, to be fair, Two and I Tacos is the only person that really matters. So he'll just be able to ask us all the questions. Okay. Let's do the awards first. So here, let me do this. Everyone can see my screen. And we can go through the awards presentations if you missed it. Or, I don't know, we'll see if anything doesn't add up. I thought there were a couple of snubs. Like for the most part, at least for the majors awards, I thought things were pretty straightforward. Then when we get to them, a couple of things that, I don't know, I think could have changed. Alright, let's go. Right, so looking at the Hall of Famers. I'm actually on the Hall of Fame committee, so I can talk a little bit about these. But Penny Cowers, yeah, he was a unanimous. I mean, Joe's had a great career with him. Guy Walker also unanimous. Like when you have the resume as someone like him, MVP as a pitcher, obviously pitcher of the years, multiple World Series champions. I'm pretty sure he would have won 5, right? Season 8 and then seasons 13 through 16. I think he was on all of those. Johnny Ruta Kiwi, not unanimous. I'm trying to think if I voted for him or not, but he got in by like 1 or 2 votes, so it was still kind of close to the line for him. Like overall, good resume. The main issue with him and why he wasn't unanimous, the first 2 times around, was really just that. Like if you look at his stats, he was a pretty average player.
To be honest, I was kind of surprised by this because, like, he's definitely by his career, he's definitely a good player, but for being like a season 1 player, he doesn't really stack up to a lot of the other people that were inducted from that time period.
Right. Yeah. Like again, he had I think 2 or 3 really good seasons or decent seasons, but for the most part, he was just a very average player. And I mean, the reason he got in, at least from discussions around him in the Hall of Fame committee, was really just around because he was so consistent. Because he was always a good player. It was kind of hard to kind of keep him from the Hall of Fame forever. And,
I mean, looking at his stats, I mean, OPS of 822 isn't gonna jump off the page, but I mean, doing that, for as long as he did, it's worth something for sure.
Yeah, and then I don't know, I don't think there's too much to talk about Guy Walker or Penny Cowers. They're just the best of the best. Like if you're thinking about who's going to be in the Hall of Fame, those are 2 guys that you definitely think about.
Yeah, easy inductions. Isn't Penny Cowers the longest career ever? He went until he was forced to retire.
Yeah, retired last season, I think.
Yeah, Miss Obvious and I did the math on it around when this was happening, and I'm pretty sure we determined that he went as long as he possibly can. That even if you're a max earner for your entire career, you cannot go longer than Penny Cowers did. So, I don't know. Maybe with TPE skills changing, it's possible. From the past couple of seasons, it's possible to go longer, but it's near impossible.
Yeah, I just don't see someone sticking with one pitcher, one player for that long, especially towards the end when you're getting really low.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like he even hurt himself at the end of his career because, if like looking at his stat page right now, like his last 2 seasons, he both had negative WAR, so he kind of brought himself under the 50 mark.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, we could go a little bit through these, right? And then I don't know. Mookie Banks was pretty close to making it this season. I don't know. I didn't vote for him again, just because like he was a very average pitcher. I don't know. He'll probably get in eventually. I don't know. It just depends on who enters the ballot each season. Because I know a lot of people, including myself, on the Hall of Fame committee, we stick to a method where we're going to induct up to some number amount of people. So whether that's 3 or 4 people every season. And so if you're an average player for your entire career, you can get in, but you still have to find a season for the Hall of Fame committee where you're in like that top 3, top 4 of like who's on the ballot. So it could be difficult at times.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. Like if I was on the committee, I'd probably be like a small hall type of person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too sure.
Wait, yeah, it's always interesting to see how different people kind of like vote, because I'm more like that where I'm gonna be voting for the 2-3 people every season that I think are just the best of the best. But then we have a good amount of people who they want to see users that were active their entire career and were good. Their plays were good their entire career to make it in. But especially now, I think we're in a really interesting time with the Hall of Fame committee, just because we're getting to the point where there's no more season 1 players to vote in. The first few seasons were the players that are going to have the most inflated stats. They're gone. So now we're looking at season 5 and plus players. Right, with Guy Walker, he was season 5. And what it takes for them to get in. Eventually we'll get closer to season 7, 8, 9 players. And it'll be interesting to see what it takes for them to get in. Okay, I'm going to go quickly through awards. We can start if there's any snubs. I don't think there's anything here. Brendan Fry has been top defensive catcher for a while. A little sad he didn't get any votes, but I don't know. Not gonna be any snubs until we get something that's close. This one to me was a snub, mainly just because Smitty's on my team. But I thought that Springfield was like the best defensive third baseman for the majority of the season. So maybe he fell off at the end.
I think during the stream, I went back and looked at this because they were so close, and I think I probably would have voted for Strobel.
Let's see.
Because they had like the exact same ZR, but I think Strobel had like a higher efficiency or something like that.
So it stars. The Apex, that's not the same thing. Apex Striker Strobel versus. Okay, Strobel defense. Yeah, so 7 zone rating. 98.5%. Spin real quick. 7 stone rating. Yeah. 969. 7 errors, force. Okay, yeah, maybe I'm just completely biased. 100%. Okay, I don't know. I thought the Smitty could have been closer. He must have fallen off like towards the end though. Which is totally fine. Shortstop, yeah, you feel like that's his entire thing is being good defensively. So good to see him or see it pay off for him. Evok just goes all into defense. I think I'm just looking for the close stuff. What? Okay, I know when we get to left field listing. I know some people want to see Rove win shortstop pretty badly.
Oh, let me take a look at that.
Well, just because Rove isn't active. Well, his position is DH, but Kashima was just playing him at shortstop. So I mean he had he had good numbers because he's not actually a shortstop. Who's Toronto's? So I know some people wanted him to win it. I'm trying to think.
Wait, how the
who I voted
oh.
to? Hmm?
Wait, did people just vote him as a joke?
Wait, who? Rove or
Rove?
No. I mean, he played shortstop, so technically he's eligible for it. Like if you could go to his batting stats, 300 average, 25 home runs versus Carter, 292, 20, 1.9 WAR versus 5. You know.
Oh, I thought that. Never mind, I'm dumb.
I don't like if you look at WAR, Ace Carter has so much more WAR just because of defense. Defense does play a large factor into it. That's going to be the reason that he won, is because of WAR. I think a lot of voters just think that WAR is batting stats for the most part. But I don't know. Like I think it's close. I don't think it's like a total snub for Rove.
That patient's creepy.
Yeah. I don't know. Like only 66 Ks is really really good in about the same number of at bats. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you just look at hitter WAR, it would have been much closer if that's something the voters could have seen.
Yeah, I don't know.
More easily.
Like, yeah, I think regardless, like I mean, it's close. Like their stats are really close. You know,
let me take it.
Carter has more home runs, a little bit less average. He has more on base percentage. Just having better OPS. Rove has so many less strikeouts, but half the walks. So I think it's really close. And then not surprised Ace Carter got more votes just because he's an actual shortstop. And voters say that 5.1 WAR are definitely going to use that to help make decisions.
Yeah, I think I probably would have voted for Rove just because I usually just kind of vote like exactly on OPS plus and WRC plus for this one. You see, Carter had like a 135 and then 140, and Rove had a 140 and 141. So I probably would have gone with him.
Yeah, I don't know. For those who are listening to this or watching, who'd you vote for this one? Again, I think it's close. Either of them really could have won. But yeah, I think we have 12 people. 12 people. Who would you guys have voted for? Let's see. And then we'll keep going. Lefebvre, yeah, okay, here's another big one. Lefebvre versus Poe. I'm going to say Lefebvre just because that's my player. But again, a very, very, very close one here. I'll go back to the stats.
Yeah, let me take a look. Poe's
yeah, I
on
mean,
the sloths.
Yeah, so sloths and scorpions.
WAR again, big part. I mean,
well, I mean
7.1 WAR.
Well,
it's first thing you see. Not that it's taking anything away,
right.
but it helps for sure.
Well, right. Like if you're looking at these two players, I mean, they're both a lot. Yeah, okay, yeah. Lefebvre, getting 7.6, that's silly. But Poe's 5.8 is still very, very good. Let's see, 297 average versus 321. Better on base percentage. We're slugging. Here, let me go to the more advanced stats here. So what's OPS? 1.024 for Poe, and 0.998 for Lefebvre. Oh, it is so close. WRC plus 173 versus 174.
Yeah, it's like a one difference. I would have just flipped the coin.
Yeah.
It's literally like 172, 174 versus 174, 173.
Yeah, I don't know. It is so close, in my opinion. Like walks are exactly the same. Runs don't matter. Strikeouts are relatively similar. Lefebvre had a bit more. Really the main difference, and the thing that would have won it for Poe would just be home runs. 37 home runs versus 22. But that depends how much you care about slugging. very good slugging, but I probably prefer on base percentage, and 420, nice, is really really good. At a 325 isolated power, that's kind of crazy. But I don't know, like I definitely could have seen Poe winning this one. Like I wouldn't call either of these players the favorite to win. Like this is the one where like the one kind of position where there really wasn't a favorite. I don't think.
Yeah, it's really could just go anyone. It's like I don't think you can say any other like person got robbed or any of them got robbed because it could have just gone to anyone.
Yeah. Okay. We're already at 750. I'll keep going. Menard, yeah, but I think Menard was clearly the best center fielder. See any snubs? No, McFlurman winning is good. I think Dusty Collins not getting second is a bit of a snub. I mean, Matthew Paul was very, very good, but Collins was insane. Like, Collins was the reliever of the year up until the very end when McFlurman kind of just got his ERA under. I think that's a snub. But I think how I voted Flutterman, Collins, Paul, Long, and I think Von Adler. So pretty much just flipped this.
Yeah, I think that's how I did it too.
I don't know, but congratulations to Flutterman. Let's see, Rookie of the Year. This one was close for Long Dub City. Do you guys know much about either of them and how their seasons went?
I mean, I'm pretty sure Hard and Long was pretty top in my books when I looked at the stats and voted. Rookie of the Year is always tough because there's a lot of different factors with that. But I think just his overall season that he put together was the best out of all the rookies.
Yeah, I mean, looking at his slash line, again, for a rookie, do you know how much TPE is? Like, it would have to be, what, like 600-700, something lower like that. But 282 average, 316 on base percentage, and a 470 slugging. That's good. I mean, he's what? Is he playing catcher or he's playing first? Or sorry, DH, because I mean, one WAR isn't that great.
Overall, I think he's
at
first
900
base.
TPE right now.
Yeah, he's first base.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, yeah, very good stats for a rookie.
Yeah, and it's also without like he doesn't really have like the defense for it. He's like a 43 at first. And he still like put up some solid batting numbers.
Yeah. Let's see what else. Pitcher of the Year. I don't know. I'm a little surprised Rose won. I'm pretty sure I voted Obama first. But I mean,
yeah,
I think it was between those two.
Yeah, normally I'm like an anti-pitching WAR person, but like when I went back and looked at like the ERA plus, there's only like I think Obama was like 182 and Rose was like 179. So because of that, I was fine with Rose winning since he had like a 1 WAR advantage there.
Fair enough. Yeah, I mean, obviously an amazing season. 17-4, 6 WARs. At being a pitcher, we're only give up 12 home runs and nearly 200 innings. That's pretty good. a sub 2.5 ERA, or really a sub 3 ERA as a starting pitcher is so impressive. MVP Lefebvre. Evok, I mean, I think Evok is also in the chat here, but we were kind of surprised that it wasn't super close, given how close Silver Slugger was at left field. I'm glad that Evok won. First user in PBE history to win MVP with 2 separate players. I know Bauer is a bit disappointed. He probably had the best batting season ever from a PBE player. I don't know about ever. Julio Sullivan has done some crazy stuff, but in like the modern era of the PBE, by far the best batting season out there. And again,
if I remember correctly, I think Bauer, his TP kind of leveled off at the end.
Yeah.
Or his WAR kind of leveled off at the end.
Yeah. He was leading WAR for most of the season, and I think it was the last week where he just wasn't. He wasn't sustaining like a 800 slugging or something, like a 700 slugging.
Right. Yeah, he's leading almost
that's-
every offensive category.
Yeah, like that has to be impossible to sustain
Yeah.
all the way. But I don't know, I think this probably should have been closer. But I don't know. I think for the most part, like, the order makes sense. Maybe you could switch Menard and Poe. I already knew I wasn't going to get votes because I know some people don't like to vote for multiple people on the same team. So that kind of screws me over. But I'll take 5th. I'm happy with that.
To be completely honest with you, I'm kind of like a war hugger, so Bauer might not have even made my top 5.
Wait, yeah, I'm pretty sure. Go ahead.
Wait, what'd you say?
I was just saying, I'm pretty sure in voting I put him 3rd. I'm pretty sure I went Lefebvre. I think I went Menard 2nd, then Bauer, Poe, then I put myself 5th, of course. I don't know. Like, he had a fantastic season, but it's just being at first base. Like, all of his TPE is in batting, so of course he's going to have a crazy good batting season as a Max Earner. Playing in a very favorable park, with him being then on campus, a very favorable archetype. Yeah, of course, eventually he's going to have a breakout season like this. I don't even want to call it breakout season because he's done it really well before. But like for me, that was the main thing that kind of held me back from probably putting him 2nd. Okay. Team of the year. This was really close. I don't remember who I voted here, but yeah, national winning makes sense. To me, I think the favorites of the season probably would have been Nashville or Cancun. Nashville being, because they made the signings and I think they traded for someone last off season, which kind of pushed them, to get to the playoffs, which is what voters really like, is seeing teams that weren't playoff teams before make it. Then Cancun, I don't know. I think I put them 1st or 2nd in my voting, just because like at the beginning of the season or in the preseason, I didn't think that they really had a chance, just because their situation was looking kind of shaky. They only had 3 relief pitchers, and they didn't have any cap to spend on a 4th one. So they were going to. I think they were going to roll with 3. They reached out to me to try to trade for someone that would work in their system, but I wasn't willing to trade that person. I don't know. I'm just really impressed that they were able to kind of pull off, as good of a season as they were, even with someone like Bauer being front loaded at I think 18 million right now.
Well, actually, I have a question. Did Cancun actually do anything to improve, or did they just get RNG good?
I don't know, a little both. I think they did get some RNG because I had the Voyagers being a lot closer in my testing, and I think I had the Voyagers being in 1st place in testing. So I mean, there's always going to be RNG involved, but I don't know. I think they did do a lot of good things as well. Especially because did they have a couple players retire on them or leave their team from season 20? I think they had 1 or 2 people that retired. They had 2 Diesel, they had Jerome on their team, both retired, so they had to replace them. And again, I mean, they probably wouldn't have gotten as many votes if they didn't get 1st place in the East. But they did a good job. Yeah, so Ryan's saying they added VV Sealman, Nate Pearson, himself, Tentacion, and Reba Knox.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I forgot about Pearson.
Yeah.
3rd place. Pitcher of the Year award.
Yeah, he was up there. Yeah, again, I mean, national winning makes sense as well. Boise. Again, they made the playoffs. They did good. Death Valley, I'll take it. I usually put the Sloths number 1 just because I think Josio does a great job. So it's good to see them up there. Okay, let's see. Minor league. I don't know anything about minor leagues, so LGM, if you want to say if these are any snubs.
The more we can forget this season, the better.
I don't know. I'm just gonna kind of go through this quickly, and you just stop or you start talking if there's something that you think is worthy to talk about with the awards.
To be honest, I forgot to vote both in the league, so I kind of don't. I kind of went into this blind, so I don't know what's like. I don't know like any of this.
Let's see anything that's close. This one's kind of close. Diddy Gonzalez versus Lemon. Wait, didn't Lemon win like Rookie of the Year or MVP? I don't know. I know they won something big.
I'm trying to remember. I don't recall the name.
Yeah. Okay, we can just keep going. Oh, look, this was totally a snub. Julio Ruiz. They should have, right? If you were here for the minors content, I apologize. I'm also just realizing that's already half an hour in.
Well, the draft is minors content.
Yeah. When we get to the draft, I can talk about
it there. Let's just get to the
must have
shit. Cool. Yeah, I mean, Enoch winning this makes sense. I don't, think that there's really anyone that has a good chance against Enoch.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Yeah, Hamskad, I think he really deserves it. I don't know, like, this is the one I can actually talk about. I don't know, like, I usually don't vote for head office members for MDM, just kind of principle that, if they're doing things right, we should really know about it. If they do a lot of extra stuff, like when Poe kind of rewrote the rule book, that was a big thing. He got a good vote from me. But I think this season, Hamskad was the only head office member that I voted for. And I'm pretty sure I put him number one, just based off of how much I've been talking with him, communicating with him as the Sim team head, and a lot of the behind the scenes stuffs. Like, he does a lot for this league. He's still very new to being commissioner, but I think he's doing a very, very good job. Yeah, not perfect. There's definitely things at points I know sometimes sometimes going to frustrate me or frustrate other GMs especially. But he definitely tries his hardest, so I think he deserves this quite a lot.
Yeah, he had my vote too, first place. I think he really worked to make the league better.
Yeah. Yeah, I think next year also makes sense. Poe and Enoch, they do a shit ton for the league. Josu finally not just getting like 20 votes. Josu got 59. Yeah. I always put Josu number one and number two. Again, with the same thing as like this last GM. I think she does so much for this league. I wish C-Mac got more votes. I voted him pretty high. He's been doing a lot, especially with Compendium. And there's a few other things that he does. He's been doing a lot. I'll take 53, I guess. But yeah, a bunch of people down here, I'm assuming, getting their first ever MDM votes. So it's cool. Cool. So that's awards. I don't know. Like, maybe there were a couple snubs, maybe there weren't. It's kind of 50-50 with me over some of those. But let's try to take the next 10 minutes apiece with each of the drafts and just go over kind of, our thoughts on the draftees and stuff like that. And then we can end this off with questions. I go a little bit late. I just have a meeting at 9. So, what time here? Okay. PBE drafts. We don't have to go too in detail or too in depth with any of these, but maybe for the first round we can talk a little bit about each pick. So first round being Benito Elmar or what's her username? Crazy Katie Cat? Yeah.
Yeah, Crazy Katie, I think.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I think we all just knew that she was getting taken first overall. It wasn't really a big secret. I don't know. I mean, a great user, a good player. I'll say as an opposing GM, I was very happy that she got taken first overall. Because I don't need a catcher, and I know she wanted to be a catcher like pretty firmly, so I probably wouldn't have been drafting her unless she fell quite a bit. So it's always happy to see players that you don't really have room for get taken early. Do you have any thoughts on her, on Benito Elmar?
Seemed like a pretty obvious choice. Good user. I mean, up there, it's pretty much just needs, especially with how many picks Kashima had.
Right.
They had a lot of opportunities to build something that'll last for a while.
Yeah, I mean, 3 picks in the first, 3 in the second is kind of crazy. It's really going to help them build up. Pick number 2, Dogwood Maple. I know the Apex were spending a lot of time on this pick. They had it down to, I won't say who else, but they had it essentially down to 2 people, Maple and someone else. I don't know. Overall in this draft, by the way, it was such a good draft, especially towards the top. The first 2 rounds were stacked. If you're looking at the previous 2 seasons that were, we had one that was a really short draft. It was only 1 round long. Obviously, that's kind of disappointing for us. And then the one before or after, the one that was right next to it was also kind of disappointing with a number of actives. But this one really, really showed up, which was really fun to have picks in it.
Yeah, I mean, I think there were I want to say 50 something.
Yeah,
users.
Yeah, it was like really.
There was. Yeah, it was good, for sure.
There were 87 players in the draft. I think you're right around 50 of them were active, or at least semi-active. And Dogwood Maple, I think is a great user. Some people were surprised that because he's a new crate, not recrate, that he got taken, and wasn't so as obvious as Elmar that we kind of knew was going to take him. I said it in the draft stream, but I think that Dogwood Maple, out of any new player to the league, probably has the most upside. So even though he isn't currently at the top of PBE, he's close to the top. But he's not number 1. I think that he's one of those people that will be. If I had to bet on one new crate from the season, I'd bet on him to kind of make the Hall of Fame, I guess. And I just got really good vibes from talking with him. Seriously, number 3 was skipped for a penalty, which I'm still amazed at how that turned out. It was just kind of a combination of the worst case scenarios.
Yeah, it was an unfortunate scenario, but
yeah. For overall, Leo Roberts, Musi, I think it's a great pick. I think we see someone that could have gotten 1 overall, could have gotten 2 overall, went essentially 3 overall. Great user, good pick. It's hard to be critical of any of these. I think again the top is so good in this draft.
Yep.
Cal Bellinger Jr. is the max 25. No surprises there. I knew he wanted to go back there. And I knew that they wanted him back there, so that kind of seemed like a good match. So yeah, good for them. Number 6, Linus Riverboats. Again, a very good user. I had him pinged for the first round. I don't know if I would have had him going 6 overall, but I definitely had him kind of high up. 7 overall, Tommy Matsarowski. Again, they're all good players, and there's so many good starting pitchers. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, only 4 people in the first round weren't a starting pitcher out of the 13 players that got taken. So yeah, you really could have gotten anything. Any of these starting pitchers are going to be worthy of the pick that you get them. Yeah, you could take any of these guys at 2 overall or 4 overall, and I would say it's a good pick. So we can kind of run through them. There's Hollander. I mean, he's in other leagues. He's be active. Glim's here. Really solid user. Got really good vibes from them as well. You have Connor here, who I really liked working with him a little bit to create the graphics for the draft presentations.
Yeah, I'd say Connor, definitely my pick that I like the most potential that I think could happen down the line.
Yeah, and I know that Emmy was really excited to take them. John Stradamus, Recreate, I don't know. I didn't have him going this high. I was kind of surprised when they took him. It makes sense. I think Josu and him have pretty good relations. Same thing with Michael Dion. I don't think I had him pegged for this early, but if it works with the dynamic for the team, then who's to say? And I was super fucking surprised to get Cal at 14. Yeah, but again, like any of the starting pitchers could have gone, anywhere from 2 overall to where they went 14 overall. And then for non-pitchers, Peter Dawson's a Diesel going 9. I was a little surprised that he dropped. I don't know, like he's a very positional need. Yeah, because I know he wants to be third baseman. He's modeling his player after Matt Chapman. So I don't know. I think the Foxes are a really good fit for him because I know he wanted to go to a rebuilding team, and I'm pretty sure he has good relationships with Emmy and Gurin. And then the other non-pitcher in the first round, Gabe Itch. I don't know. It makes sense, right? He's on the Kingpins, and Super TARDIS is the Detroit GM. So I guarantee if that was TARDIS just saying, "Hey, I want this player," I don't think they're going to last us to 19. Looks like them though.
He's getting a name change, right?
Yeah. Oh, right. Completely forgot about that. Yeah. I don't know. So that's the first round. Again, like it was so good. This draft was so top heavy that maybe someone like Diesel, who's leading the draft class in TPE, could have gone higher. I mean, Cal definitely could have gone higher. Even like Moonlight could have gone in the first round. There's some people down here that could have probably gone in the first round, just depending on what team needs were. I don't know. Like it's hard to really say too much about this draft, especially at the top. I don't know. Do you guys have any comments? Let's see. Maybe in any of the other rounds, is there anyone that you think was a steal of the draft? Anyone that you think could or should have gone in the first round?
I think Cedric Winters down in the second round. That was someone that we had our eyes on. But we actually assumed would be gone. But he went a lot lower than I expected. Mm-hmm. But that could have just been teams looking for pitchers more. But he looks like a good player.
Yeah. I'm trying to think for us. Like for us, Alex Frank. We were thinking about taking him with our second. But we didn't think that Matthew Edwards would last all the way to the third. So we were really happy to get Alex Frank with our third. He's someone that Evok really, really wanted on the team. She was going at it in the war room saying, "Get Hortle, get Hortle, get Hortle." And then when we didn't draft her with the second, I think she was like, "Okay, well, why do you hate me?" So when it came to her third and he was still on the board, it wasn't too difficult. Yeah, there's Evok and Hortle. I don't know. And you also have players like Slim, who obviously quality-wise, player-wise, could easily go in the first. Just given his past, it's going to scare off some people.
Yeah, I think something interesting I noticed was seeing both Slim and John go to the Sloss, because for most of their time in the PBE, they've been on the same team together. They've had like that dynamic. Right. So I'm guessing the Sloss must have known that when they picked both of them.
Yeah, like especially the first 2 rounds, the first 2 picks, the Sloss I think they did really, really well. I mean, they got the players that they know will be around, and I think for them, Slim was kind of a steal. I mean, they even traded up to get Slim because they didn't want to take a risk. I think they did really well. This will be a really solid draft for them to kind of take the players that are good, but some other teams may just be scared of. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. So many forfeits.
Yeah, I think that's gonna start being the norm because with the new draft system, everything
right.
A lot of the picks after the second round, they might not be as valuable anymore.
Yeah. I mean, my assumption for next season's draft is that we will see almost no 4th round picks, because there is a rule change coming that'll start for the season 24 draft, which is the cap penalties are going to be different. So this season or next season, whatever you want to think of it as, is the last season for GMs to go over by $3 million in over the soft cap by 3 million and only was fourth. So like, I can tell you for the Scorpions, we're at exactly 136 million or 3 mil over the soft cap. To try to take advantage of that and try to front load a little bit in the kind of the last season that we're able to. So you'll see a lot of penalties next season, maybe even in the third, as some teams want to kind of go a little crazy before like the new cap penalties come into place. Okay, let's go to the minors draft. LJ, you'll tell us about what happened here, and then maybe we can answer like one or two questions at the very, very end.
All right, so first overall, Danny Gonzalez, which is Symmetric's player. To be honest, I was really shocked when this pick was made. Like, don't get me wrong, he's definitely a first-round talent, but I thought there was like a really realistic chance that he might have possibly fallen to us at 10. He's like, that whole like first round is really stacked. Even the whole like second round has a lot of like really good players in it. Mm-hmm. Second overall, Steve Rogers. This was like a really easy pick for us. Jay Steele, he's an alumni. He in our like scouting interview, he was definitely wanted to come back. So we knew we had to do that. Third overall, Wander Franco, which is Josh's player. And, this definitely doesn't make sense. Like, if you, like, look at the whole board, you definitely notice that this is a very batter-heavy draft in terms of picking. Like, the first pitcher was, like, 14th. Yeah. The next one was 17th. Like, and it's, like, the complete opposite of, like, most minor league drafts. You usually see, like, all the good pitchers go in the first round, but just wasn't the case here. Fourth overall, Tex Walker, which is Ems, who is the wife of the Dallas Dynamo's co-GM. So that kind of makes sense. Like they've been really active. They're gonna like stick in the league and all that. Fifth overall, Chris Jacob, who is I forget the exact. I think it's Cantharion, I believe. If I'm pronouncing that right, I'm not sure or not, but I know they were pretty high on their board. I didn't expect them to go this high, but I can tell they're a really good user. I remember like a lot about like all their site activity and stuff like that. Sixth overall was Speculadora, who's of course really active. I think like we were actually going to pick them at second overall at one point, but then I remember being told that he wanted to go like fully defense, which was kind of interesting. So I guess it kind of like pivoted us towards Jay Steele. Seventh overall was Sam Andrews, who was definitely one of the most active rookies in the Discord following the draft. Of course, followed by Sumi too, who's also like, they were kind of like the duo of really like active rookies. So that just kind of makes sense. Let me see. Oh, and also like I guess like commentary to say here is like kind of like a thing that I dislike about having like an early first rounder is though you kind of feel like obligated to pick all the recreates because obviously they're like the most consistent. You're like sure they're gonna earn, but at the same time there's usually like a bunch of rookies that are like really active in Discord and all that, and those are like the ones that usually go like in the back half of the first round.
Wait, so nine. Yeah. So one question I have is, like, how full are minor league teams now of actives? Because I know in the past, there used to kind of be a thing where, sometimes you would draft a player higher because you thought maybe they wouldn't stick around their entire career, so they wouldn't get called up to the majors. So you would have them around, but I don't think that's really a thing anymore now. That like pretty much the minors are full of actives, if I'm right.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we're kind of like it's kind of tough. It kind of bounces back a lot, so we're never really sure. But for this season, I'm pretty sure that most teams are like expected to be full of actives and all that. Like I know us, we should be having like a full active rotation, a full active lineup, and we're about to have like a 2-person bullpen, which is like okay for the minors.
Wait, what? wait.
No, I mean like a 2-person like active bullpen.
Okay, right. Okay. I was gonna say.
But yeah,
Okay. I don't know. From this draft, if maybe it's someone, maybe it's who you took number 2 overall. But out of any player in this draft, who do you think is going to have the best major league career?
major league career.
Yeah. Definitely hard to say with obviously so these players are also don't no recreates. What new users?
No recreates. Oh, okay.
What new user is going to be the best from this class?
I'll take a stab and say Wallace Gromit. I mean, he seemed pretty active so far, and I know he's been around in other leagues like MLR and such. So
He's 1 year old.
there's definitely a background there.
Okay. I'm asking just so this is going to be my scouting for the next season's draft. Okay, Wallace Gromit at the top of my list right now. Anyone else?
All right, I'm gonna purposely not say any armadillos because I don't want to be a homer. But I'll say, hold on, let me scan the list. I'll say Sumi too.
Sumi too.
I can just tell they're the amount of like active that they are in the Discord is insane. I think they're gonna stick around for a while.
I mean, good Discord username. Duck. I feel okay. It's free. Okay. ESO added their post 5 minutes ago.
What's the updater?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know any of these people. Cool. So we have 10 minutes left. We can go a little bit longer. But let's answer some questions if people have questions. So it could be about the draft. It could be about awards. It could be about something else. I'm trying to think if there's anything else to say. Any announcements that we have? I don't know. Like I don't think I've announced it anywhere officially yet. Let's see. I hired Enoch to be the co-head of the sim team, so I'm really happy to have him there with me. That was the thing. We're doing the sim team or the sim file audit team. That's gonna be fun for the season, and LPG leading that. That should be cool. We'll see how that goes. Also sim team. I probably should have. Well, do I? Okay, maybe I'll get into trouble for saying this. Maybe I won't. Who knows? I don't know why I wouldn't be able to say this because people will find out very soon. But prime times for this season are going to be different. So last season, right, they were all on Saturdays like we had done forever. But starting with this season, we're planning to have them spread out throughout the week. So to have 7 majors games. I think head office was potentially discussing also adding 2 minors prime times a week, but that's not confirmed or not confirmed. But prime times will be done throughout the week, and essentially when you're submitting your prime times, you're going to have to do them a week early. So the prime time for week 1 will be coming out actually possibly tonight. I know that they wanted LBG to give them prime times tonight, but that's also giving us less than a day's notice. Thank you very much. But they'll come out probably by Tuesday at the latest for week 1. So I don't know, we'll see how it goes. It's going to probably make scheduling for the sim team a lot easier, or it'll make LBG's job a lot easier. I think it'll probably help improve streams, especially for Saturday, to not be forced to do all 7 primetime games. It's just doing 1 in-stream day. So I don't know. It should be cool. That's probably the biggest change from anything. Okay, wait. DG did ask something. Okay, wait. DG has a lot of stupid stuff. What's the meaning of life? I don't know, DG. You. Evoc wants to know the best player from Montreal. Okay.
Yeah, we're all players from there.
I don't know. Okay, DG, the actual question. If you could change one transaction in PBE history, what would it be?
Transaction, like a signing or a trade?
I have no idea. Sure. I don't know, like the trade that always comes to mind, even though I don't actually know the full details, is the one that sent Paulo Di Stefano to the Valley. That sent him to the Crabs as a rental player that gave Death Valley like 2 firsts or something, like something stupid like that.
Oh yeah. I think that was. I think it was like I forget. I think it was. It might have been like 2 seconds and a third.
Yeah, it was something big. And then that the GMs at the time, like they drafted just like stupidly good players that stayed with the team for their entire careers.
Yeah. Let me look it up real quick and try to find this.
You go for it. I don't know. Like that would have changed a lot, I think, in PBE history. Just because the players that the Scorpions took with those picks end up being pretty contributive to the team.
Yeah, if there's one trade that I'll always hate in my my history in the league, it's definitely the Stars one where they acquired
Yeah.
I forget what the player's name was. What was it? It was like
the Stars acquired, or the Stars.
No, they traded the player.
Are you talking about?
Or no, they got the player. Hold on,
I have no idea. Well, okay, so I mean, the one if you say Stars trade, the one that comes to mind is the one where they traded Anthony Bauer and Ian Fullman to. So wait, no, wait. No, they traded 4 of those. No, wait. They traded 4 of those players because they were both on Utah. They traded for Bauer and Fullman, and then they both left immediately in that frequency. And they thanks Steve. How are you gonna do it? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying to find the trade, but I forget they acquired. Who was the old co-GM of the Stars? I think they're IA now, but they used to be a starting pitcher. They were.
Well, I mean, old co-GM of the Stars was Evok.
Yeah, but the one after that.
One after that, I think was TJ. Or are you talking about Alex, who was the main?
No. There's another one that they got in the trade for like 2 firsts and like 2 swaps of a first.
Well, I mean, GMs of their team were Alex F with Evok, and Alex F with TJ, and now it's TJ with Zach.
Yeah, Mac.
Mac. Oh.
I forget his player name. It was
Mac Arian?
Yeah, Mac Arian. They got Mac Arian for 2 firsts and then 2 swaps of firsts in like years that they would have definitely gotten like the first overall.
Well, yeah, they traded all in for like the season 17 draft, I think, like because of what was happening with expansion. Like they traded all into one draft, and I think if they had just kept their picks, they would have ended up in a better situation. But I don't know, like a lot of their history specifically was kind of like taking a risk and it somewhat not working out for them.
Yeah, I remember at the time it happened, I was like, dang. I don't know how to explain. That trade is just like that trade like triggered me.
So yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Any other questions? We have a couple minutes left here. Evok also asked us if we like poutine. I do. I mean,
I've never had it. So
what's poutine?
It's Canadian. It's essentially fries with cheese curds and gravy.
Well, that sounds nice.
Yeah. I don't know, the best poutine I've ever had was I was on like a trip that we were in Canada, and like one day it was like, okay, we're gonna climb this mountain. So we spent probably like 4 or 5 hours going up the mountain, and at the top there was a restaurant, and that was the best damn poutine I've ever had. Like it wasn't even like especially good, but after hiking up for 4 or 5 hours, it was so good. The way down was terrible because, as you can imagine, it being fries, cheese, and gravy, not the best food for then going on to continue physical activity. I don't know. It was so good. it was going down. I was like, oh shit. But, yeah, it's good. See, any last questions? I'm trying to see. Loki says worst trade in history is a certainty trading for me, not realizing I would opt out.
What trade was that? Oh, was that the New York trade?
Yeah, because they got him as a rental player.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you had to assume that they thought he was going to stay. Because
Yeah, I remember
they gave something. They gave something like decent.
Yeah, New York has a big history of like rental trades and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's worked. I mean, it worked from when they made the World Series a couple seasons ago. But
Yeah, I think like. Yeah, they're like they're like 1 for 5 in it, but I mean if you get if like
if you get one, yeah.
if the one success is like a World Series, then I'd probably take that.
Wait, yeah, like that's my exact sentiment with what Cancun did when they essentially went all in, and when they won. Like it shouldn't have worked. You know, like as a opposing GM, I'm thinking to myself, this is so stupid. They're going all in. They have no future. After a couple of seasons, but then they fucking won it. And once you win it, it doesn't matter what you did, because if you win it, you always have that in your back pocket.
Yeah, I was like a Cancun doubter. I was like, wait, they have like 4 good players, and the rest of their lineup is gonna put like negative WAR together. How are they gonna win? And they just went and did it.
Yeah, you can't really say anything bad about that. Yeah, I mean, like, even now, like you know. Like when it was happening, you know, I was seeing people like, you know, they're discerning their future, you know, like stuff like that. But here they still are in the playoffs. You know, like I know this season, maybe even last season, like they were starting to commit to a rebuild. But I think that like this offseason, they just saw players that were available. They just saw, hey, we can still do this, and it worked out.
I thought they were going down. I did not realize that they would. Like, I thought they were going to come in second purely just because, like, the division was bad, but I had no idea they would actually, like, do good enough, like, do that good, get to the World Series.
But yeah, like, with them, like, at some point they're going to fall off. I still think that. Still not, no, only first and second in next season's draft. No, you know, at some point they're going to fall off, but they've been doing a very, very good job to stay alive at a high level. These past few seasons, I honestly can't say that I thought they would be able to do it. Aviators have no picks in season 25. Definitely did a bad job staying alive. Yeah, going down. Yeah, I always loved it when 5 seasons ago people were like, they're all regressing. It'll be bad.
Oh yeah, the DVS is
yeah, it's always fun.
The DVS old conspiracy.
Yeah, I mean here, like if I'm being completely honest, I mean season 22 we're completely fine. I think we can win the division again. I think we have the best record in the league. I think we can break the wins record again. I think we're good this season. Season 23 is probably going to be the point where we look like a normal team. And like we look like we can kind of go down. Like I'm looking at our stuff now, and we're a little bit strapped for cash for season 23. I don't want to say like exactly kind of like what situation we're in, but like we'll probably need to get a pitcher from free agency if Troutner isn't able to be called up to be a starter yet, which he probably won't be. He's only be like 600-700 TP in season 23. So we'll probably have to sign someone, and that's going to make us make some moves to free up some cap. I don't know. Like it'll be interesting for us. So maybe we finally start to bleed a little bit.
Yeah, cool. I agree. Sim's bad.
Yeah, of course Sim's bad. Even Loki said no. They did. The Voyagers didn't think that he had an opt out. Okay. Yeah, always important to check compendium for that stuff. Okay, I don't see any other questions, and we're at time. So I think we're good, right? Evok isn't yelling at us to answer anything. We answer the Poutine question. So I think we're good. We can add this stuff back up. All right, yeah. So thanks everyone for listening. I think we ended up with like 12 or something people in this. Let's see.
I think we're at 20 right now.
Yeah, we're at 20. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, thanks so much for watching. I don't know. I hope some of this was entertaining. And thanks so much to you guys, for everyone LGM, for joining. I was expecting you guys to say something. But okay.
Oh, what's the
We're still streaming.
what's the Discord command?
Wait, for what?
Someone just asked in chat for it. What's like the command to like tells you about like where the league is,
Here.
whatever?
Do we have one? Do we have? I mean, it would just be like / Discord. If we had one. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
yeah. If you're, what? Wait, who are you? Are we seeing random people? Awesome.
It's a new person.
Welcome. If you don't know what the hell's going on, this is a podcast for a baseball sim league where you control one player throughout their entire career. It's a lot of fun. Go join Discord if you're not in there yet. Yeah. Feel free to ask questions in here. I'll keep the stream alive for another minute if you have any questions. Why are we 26 people?
I don't know why. Why are our numbers going up?
Who is sending people over here? It is possible that who else is streaming? We have some friends that may be sending people over, but I don't know. That's kind of weird, especially because we're at the very end. But yeah, if you're watching this and you have no idea what we are, or you've never seen this, just go join Discord. It's a lot of fun. Who would have thought this is going to be the best recruiting event of the season? Yeah, again, the dude just joined. he's in Discord now. That's dope. Yeah. Why are we at 26 people? Who else is streaming? We could raid someone. I always like to do that. Let's see if anyone else streaming. Yeah, we have the most people. Okay.
Oh wow.
Because I mean, we're the second largest streamer for Out of the Park. Okay, maybe is this stream starting or ending? Because he could have.
Wait, Simple Hunter. That's one of our users.
Right. Yeah. I don't know. If he's going, let's go rate him. Yeah, he's really nice to us. He's one of our guys. I'm not streaming, but yeah. EMLB starts at 9 p.m. So in 20 some minutes. So right now we're gonna go raid someone else, because apparently we have people here. But yeah, go check out the EMLB Sports League. From what I've seen, it looks pretty fun. At the very least, the streams are entertaining. Here we go, Hunter. I'm gonna start this raid. You should go check that out at 9 if you're still on Twitch. But yeah, if I don't know why we have so many people. We don't usually get this many. Okay, only 14 people are actually here. It looks like. But yeah, have a good night, everyone, and enjoy the raid. Let's see if it actually did the thing. There you go. They're raided. Oh, his followers only chat for his thing. God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna